Hi, this is Mike here. I'm here with Gaile Gray, and we're just going to talk about generally what Gaile's role is. She's obviously been a long time sort of employee of ArenaNet. And could you just tell us a bit about what you've been doing, sort of to do with sort of the upcoming release of Heart of Thorns, and what you've been doing with the Living Story, and how you're involved in the community?
Well, sure, I'd be happy to. I should probably go back to the beginning. I started with ArenaNet in the year 2000.
Okay.
I'm employee number 3. Yes, and I think it's a sign of a testament to ArenaNet's commitment to their fans that they did hire someone to answer emails and talk about the game even before the game was announced.
Yes.
So I'm very proud of that. And then I was a community relations manager up to 2008. And then I moved into a position called support liaison.
Okay.
And with that, I was able to work with a global support team on, I think it's fair to say, looking at how we can make support a AAA, the best that we could possibly do in every aspect of support, from how we answer players to when we answer players, and always with the mindset of turning what might be a no into a yes.
I think you can see that from the forums. Obviously, you guys are very active on the forums, and you obviously get responses, particularly for customer support issues. You obviously see when you post them all the ticket numbers, and you get through those quite quickly. So I think you're one of the better games at getting responses, which I guess is one of your prime goals, to get feedback and make sure the players get answers.
Yes, that was very much my focus. The customer support team is very, very good, but the sheer volume of number of players and all the different issues that could arise, and personal issues. This account is not working, or this particular challenge, this particular issue. It was good to be able to have a public face to that, and to be transparent about that. It can range from just being helpful to being amusing. The person who submits the forum post and says, I don't know why I was banned, and to tell them, well, the salty language was probably the cause. Things like that. It's very fun. But then in fall of last fall, in September, ArenaNet asked me if I'd like to become the forum communications team lead.
Yes.
So now I'm working in a broader sense, not just with support issues, but actually communicating all level of communications on the forums.
Okay.
And then also being back with my favorite thing, which is interacting with fans at shows like this, because I just love meeting our fans.
Cool. And obviously, I think you get some cool sort of amusement when you get things like in the Living Story season 2, where we had, I think it was season 2, where we were going to the machine. Is it Oud's machine? And you had the animation, and obviously I don't think ArenaNet took into account the different potions that people were able to do. And you had flying sort of deers, flying quagga, and flying script towards the screen.
I don't know a thing about that. Sometimes things happen. Sometimes unusual things happen, unexpected things happen. It's part of the fun. It's also part of the good thing about our team is being able to react to the unexpected, and correct it if it's an issue, or just run with it if it's not. Yeah.
And how have you found it that obviously there's been a lot of speculation for a while talking about the Heart of Thorns expansion before it was announced? Again, also with your Living Story being sort of a lot of suggestions and a lot of ideas. How have you found it that obviously interacting with people and what their impressions, that sort of they think that you have a lot more knowledge and on certain aspects, particularly when obviously I'm talking about the story, then there may be things like the release date that they assume you would know, but you actually might not have any clue at all about. How have you found that?
There are times when I sit in a meeting and kind of put my hands over my ears and say, la la la, I'm not hearing you. No, the fact is that sometimes we do know things, sometimes we don't. There have been times when a fan's made a suggestion in the forums that's been very fun, and I do what I call escalated threads to the developers, and I try to handpick, because there are a lot of developers, and you don't want to fill all their email boxes. But I'll send it off and say, here's a suggestion, or here's a concern, and surprisingly, I'll find that yes, we're taking care of that issue, or this suggestion is going to happen, and that's when it becomes challenging, because that this player who is so vested in this idea, and you know it's coming, and you want to say, oh, spot on there. And you can't really do that because you know it's coming, but then they will win, and how did that come about? So you have to kind of just like, that's a great idea. Cheesy smile.
But what I was going to say is, that obviously you do get some issues that come up that you might have missed out, particularly regarding the different story where you had the Sylvari when they were being experimented on by the Azura, and then it was stated that obviously they were the first to die, but actually in the personal story of the Sylvari, it was one of the originals that actually died first. And then you guys, obviously, the forums went a bit crazy for a while, and then you guys responded pretty quickly.
Yeah. There are times when we're shown a way by a player and said, wait a minute, now I'm familiar with this. The players that know the game lore and that follow it so closely are just so amazing to me. I love that they can correct us, actually, set us straight, and I like that.
And do you ever watch a lot of the sort of YouTube videos that some of the players do? I mean, particularly, probably the biggest ones out there would be Aurora Peachy, Bogota, Wooden Potatoes, Matt Visual. How much of sort of the community do you see on that side, the videos that we put out there?
I absolutely love their work. I just think it's absolutely wonderful, and they all share a bit of themselves, so that they're all so personal. They appeal to a broad audience, and yet they have a personal perspective that I really, really admire. In addition to which, I'm incredibly fond of the fan videos that players make, a tribute to this, or just a personal story that they've put together, they've compiled. We had a player in Guild Wars 1 that made the most amazing videos and shared them with the community. And then I just recently saw one that a German player made that I posted on the forums because I wasn't sure if the forum community had seen it, and just said, if you haven't seen this, I have to share this. It's on YouTube now, and it's just kind of actually I think it would be fair to say it's a thank you to the developers. And I watched it, and my associate Ramon, our German community coordinator, he showed it to me, and I welled up, and he started laughing at me because I was crying. It was so beautiful. The creations that the community makes are just impressive, and it shows the love. And being here at the show today, I was interviewing the players and asking them, where are you from and how long have you been playing? And it's just deeply moving to see people who have been playing since the beginning, or that just joined 6 months ago, but have so much love for the game.
Because that's the thing is, I know from experience in my guild, there is such a wide sort of core audience. There isn't, the particular, for an MMO, it's not the usual. There is a lot of sort of young guys that play it, but there's also sort of a lot of older people that play it, sort of different, a lot of women play this game as well. And I think that's one of the things, it tends to be a friendlier MMO. I mean, have you found that at all?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm not paid to say this, and it's not something that they say, don't forget to trot this out every hour on the hour. I think our community is incredibly caring about the game and about each other. My job as forum communications team lead is not difficult, because often something will arise overnight, and I'll go in the morning and I'll go, oh, this thread's getting a little hot, and then I'll look down lower, and someone said, hey, that's not what we do, come on, and pulls it right back from the brink. It's just wonderful. The community, I've been gaming since a long time, and I've never met a community that's as helpful and as committed to the community as a whole. It's incredible.
Well, what I like about the forum is you actually have the dev tracker, so you can see what you guys are actually talking about. You can see how active you guys are. It's all very open and sort of honest. And I'd like to ask, where do you see sort of, first of all, what are the main challenges you find sort of moderating the forums? Is there anything particular that you find a bit difficult or challenging?
I don't really think anything overwhelmingly comes to mind. I mean, there's always the necro posting, and I'll think, oh no, we have a bug, and then I'll go 2000, and 11, you know. But no, nothing really comes to mind as far as challenging, except that it is a very active community. So keeping up is you want to read every thread and respond to every thread.
I know from when going on holiday, you come back and you look and see like there's mountains and mountains of posts.
Yeah, it's a very active community and a generally very positive one. I will say that the announcement of Heart of Thorns was a great boost for our community, and that so much has been revealed. I liked the presentation that Michael Bryan and Colin Johansson did in San Antonio. I liked how they talked about this is what's coming. So many times you see an announcement and it's like, yes, we're doing this thing, and then you don't get the meaty details.
Yes.
And I think in this case they gave, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, and then the community was able to just join right in and start speculating about things or talking about them. And then we're doing those deep dives, and I think those are helpful, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm sorry to interject, guys, but we're going to have to wrap it up.
That's all right. That's cool. That's all right. But I just want to say, Gail, it's been a pleasure to meet you. You've been sort of someone that we've been aware of in the community for a while, and obviously we appreciate the job you do, even though at times you may get a lot of stick from people that think you may know certain things and aren't revealing it, but they tend to be not to do with the story and the lore of Guild Wars 2. But thanks very much for your time.
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.